How's it going, everyone? My name is Matt Leighton and welcome back to another real estate video. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about whether you should buy a condo, a townhouse, or a single family house. Now, recently I was working with some clients here in the Northern Virginia market and they asked me, Matt, what's the best type of property to purchase? What should we purchase? Should we go the condo, the townhouse, or should we bump it up to a single family house? So in this video, I wanna share with you the answer, what I told them, what type of property they should purchase. And if you're anything like my clients here in Northern Virginia, maybe you're also considering whether you should buy a condo, townhouse, or single family home. Now, there's a number of factors to consider when you're looking to buy a property. So what we're gonna do here today is simplify it and go through the top 6 factors to think about when you're considering what's the best type of property for your purchase. Factor number 1, guys, let's just jump right into the video. Factor number 1 is money, as it always is. So what is your budget? Here in Arlington, Virginia, a budget of $500,000, well, that can get you a really nice 1-bedroom condo, or it can get you a decent 3-bedroom townhouse, maybe 2 levels, or it could get you a really rundown single family house that's most likely a tear down and probably disgusting on the inside. And remember, you're also gonna have a monthly condo fee or an HOA fee on top of that sales price. So if you go the condo route, that fee could be anywhere from $100 to maybe even $1,000 per month, depending on the size and the quality of the building. HOA fees aren't that extreme, more like $100, and sometimes they're paid quarterly, so that could be something like, $85 per month paid quarterly. And if you do go the single family house route, the cost that you need to think about, you may say, well, I don't want an HOA fee, I don't want a condo fee of $300. Well, we want to also budget for maintenance items. With condos, the roof gets taken care of. With single family houses, that's all on you. So good rule of thumb for maintenance when it comes to single family houses is to budget approximately 1% of the house's value per year for maintenance and upkeep. So if you go the house route, you're not gonna have those monthly condo fees or those quarterly HOA fees. So you may think you're in the clear, but you're gonna have a lot of maintenance items over time that may actually even out to the amount of condo fees that you would have been paying. So guys, before you even have the condo, townhouse, single family house discussion, we need to figure out what you can actually afford. The second factor to consider is location. Wow, money and location, so insightful, Matt. Dislike, this is a waste of my time. Okay guys, obviously what I'm getting at here is once you have your budget and your location, your handful of neighborhoods that you could even consider living in, well, there may only be 1 or 2 types of properties available for your desired budget and location. Before you start driving to every neighborhood under the sun and telling your realtor that you want to see every property in the MLS just to be sure, guys, we want to be a little bit more efficient than that. So what's your commute going to look like? What's the school district like? Is it a relatively safe area? All these factors are going to significantly narrow down your options. I was talking with a friend recently and he was telling me how he wanted to move to this new neighborhood in DC, a cool new neighborhood, lots of new bars, restaurants, retail, brand new sparkling condos, and I wanted to learn a little bit more. So I asked him, hey, how often are you finding yourself in this neighborhood? He said 2 or 3 times per month, and I thought, And as it turns out, he didn't work in that neighborhood. His girlfriend didn't work in that neighborhood. That neighborhood would make their commute worse, and they didn't have many friends in that area. So I'm thinking to myself, why would you want to live there if you're only gonna be there and enjoy those bars 2 or 3 times per month? Could you still enjoy that neighborhood without paying those costs? Because if you move there, you're further away from work, you're further away from your girlfriend. It doesn't make a lot of sense, really. So we want to pry down a little bit deeper on that specific aspect. Now, if you have the budget for it, sure, live in whatever neighborhood you want. I'm not gonna stop you. I just want to make sure that it'll be convenient for your lifestyle. The third factor we wanna think about is how long are you gonna live in that property for? And guys, this is where we start to get to the meat of the content. And more specifically, we wanna understand how quickly are you going to outgrow that space. A 1-bedroom condo downtown next to all the bars, that may seem cool, but if you're with your significant other, your dog, and you're expecting to have a baby next year, well, you may outgrow that 700 square feet very quickly. But if you just moved to a new town, you're going to be there for the next 3 years and you want to have the DC experience or the Nashville experience, yeah, sure, living in 700 square feet downtown, that could be a perfect fit for you. Working backwards from here, what we're trying to avoid is you realizing that the property is way too small or way too big, which would actually be a good problem to have. Either way, we want to avoid you buying a property, realizing it was a bad fit, and then having to turn around and sell that property a year or so later. That leads us right into the next factor, which is what is your long-term plan? Some buyers I work with, they specifically seek out studios and one-bedroom condos downtown. They're only gonna live there for 2 years, and then after that, they buy it, turn that one into a rental, do that a few times. Now all of a sudden they have a small little rental portfolio. Oftentimes a mistake, and more of a mental mistake, if you will, is first-time home buyers. They get a loan, they see it's for 30 years, and they're thinking to myself, all right, 30 years, I'm gonna be here for 30 years, and then I'm gonna pay it off fully. Well, guys, we need to forget about that 30-year mortgage. We need to forget about, whether you get a 30-year or a 15-year mortgage. I hear a lot of people say, oh, I'm gonna pay off my mortgage, I'm gonna pay off my mortgage. Well, that'd be nice, but at the same time, where is your money most efficiently spent? You can make a couple extra payments on your mortgage, you can have a higher down payment, but maybe you wanna put that money into different investments or more money into your retirement plan or stocks or bonds. Don't really get caught up on these, 30 years, I wanna be there for 30 years. Think more in, where are you gonna be in 5 years? Right, guys, let's break it down a little bit. Where are you gonna be in 5 years? Where are you gonna be in 10 years? You don't need to have an actual roadmap of, roadmap of where you're gonna be every single step of the way. But we just wanna have some sort of knowledge of what our next step is gonna be, what our plan is. Some people, they buy condos and they're happy for their entire life in a condo. Some other people buy condos and within 6 months, they realize that they hate common hallways. They hate having someone above you, next to you, below you, on all sides of you, and they hate the condo management company, and that's completely fine. Your house is a big purchase. Me as the real estate agent, I just wanna make sure that you're going about it the right way and you're just thinking down the line so you know what your next move will be. The fifth factor to look at are those deal breakers. What items, what things do you absolutely not want? For a lot of people, it's condo fees, or it's an HOA management company that tells you what color you can or cannot paint your front door. And if you haven't seen my HOA pros and cons video, what I'll do is I'll list it up here. I'll also link it in the description below. Other common deal breakers I hear are buyers that want some sort of outdoor space like a patio or some sort of yard. Obviously that may rule out a lot of condos, so townhouse or single family house would be the move. Other deal breakers, common walls, so obviously condos, lots of common walls. Even townhouses, they have 2 common walls unless you're on an end unit. One other common deal breaker I hear is buyers that don't want to pay PMI. PMI is known as private mortgage insurance, and it's an extra fee on top of your mortgage for those buyers that don't put 20% or more as their down payment. Now, obviously, to avoid PMI, you're gonna have to go after a less expensive property so you can actually afford to put 20% down on that less expensive sales price. And factor number 6 to consider when you're deciding between these 3 types of properties is what sort of lifestyle do you want? With condos, it is a low maintenance lifestyle, lock and leave lifestyle. You lock the door, you leave, your garage is gonna get cleaned, your roof is gonna get maintained, the hallways are gonna get vacuumed. When you live in a single family house, you're gonna have a lot of your weekends taken up with maintenance projects, repairs, vanity work. There's a lot more upkeep. And then with townhouses and duplexes, it kind of falls in the middle of those 2 properties. Buying a property is not necessarily seeing every single property and then deciding what works for you. It's more so a process of elimination, so you come up with your guidelines, your deal breakers, and what'll work for you, and then you reverse engineer and work backwards from there. And no, I'm not saying don't see condos if you think you want to buy a house, or don't see townhomes if you think you're gonna buy a condo. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is once you have your price, your location, your lifestyle, and your deal breakers, you're probably gonna have a very good idea of the type of property that you're gonna end up purchasing. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, guys. It really helps YouTube to show this video to more home buyers just like yourself. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, create a productive day. Take care.